Welcome back, Soul Knights excursionists. Here are with the attachment series of single-use items. Today we'll be talking about the upgrade kit. This attachment, what it does is level up the item that you're using. Obviously, see it's compatible with your weapon that you're using. This item can be divided in two lists. This is the first one, the compatible weapons. And the second one is gonna be the series weapons, where it levels up every weapon that is in that list. That is gonna be in a different video, just in case this one gets too long. Let's start by just talking about the Guardian Railgun and the MP Railgun. It's funny, I have played Soul Knight all my life, and this is the first time I see this railgun. It's a very clean weapon, not gonna lie. It looks fantastic, especially with that blue. Now let's just talk about the stats of this railgun. This weapon seems like there has not been any upgrade whatsoever, but it has a curious detail about it, that every time it shoots and it hits an enemy, it has electricity flowing through that enemy and other enemies too. That is partially the reason why the critical in the old weapon is higher than in the new weapon, because that critical affects the electricity differently. And also, electricity in Soul Knight is kinda busted because it can hit multiple enemies and make you weak. Now let's talk about the Breeze. It's one of the weapons of the Sword Master. This is the sword where you start with her. And it's kinda nice that the upgrade kit just gives you the upgraded version without you needing to do some money on it. So do have in mind, see you don't have the enough money to get the upgraded version, you can always grab it with the upgraded kit and make it the newest version. And this is the stats. You can see that the best thing here is the speed and the new projectile that it has in the end of every combo of this weapon. Do remember that the projectile is only acquired when you have the Zephyr upgrade. Now we will be talking about the Long Railgun and Long Railgun M2. You can see that now it looks more stylish, just like the first gun that we were talking about, with having that tinge blue and having that silver that just gets that little touch of so good. And that's what I call pixel art on its finest. And here you go with the stats. We can see that the old gun has penetration, but the new one has more damage and homing attacks. That means that it follows the enemy, making it a better gun for distance attacks or you dodging bullets without focusing on the fight. And now I will remind you about Sniper Goal. Psych! Watch my third video of the attachment series so you can have a better explanation about Sniper Rifle Goal. Also, if you're so kind, please like and subscribe so you will have more Soul Knight related content. Now let's talk about those heavy hitters, the Thunder Warhammer and the Thunderstorm Warhammer. Now let's talk about their stats. You're gonna see in the differences between these two hammers is the stun ability of the Warstorm hammer. That stun ability also does 2% damage every second of you, even though the Thunder Hammer has more damage. But you're gonna see real quick that the Thunderstorm Hammer, thanks to its stun ability and its constantly damage of the stun ability, is gonna have a better chance to deal with bosses and other creatures that is attacking you. Even though the hammer that is upgraded has more costs, it can actually be cost effective by the damage that you're gonna be doing. And so you feel that the critical is not high enough, remember that there are other characters that you can use to increase the critical of that weapon. Either way, each of the hammers have their pros and cons, but each of them is actually very effective for any run. Both of them are gonna be very good at what they do, just dealing damage. Now we're gonna talk about the magic staff and the fine magic staff. And this is the staff stats. You can see that the upgraded version has 6 more of energy, and it's because it has 2 more balls that is going around you of light to purify. And the upgraded version obviously has more damage because it's, 2 more balls of light surrounding you moving. You wanna see how to make it better than this, I suggest that you see my Soul Knight attachment series part 3. Where there we explain how the gold makes the magic staff and the fine magic staff a better weapon. And now we'll be talking about the Queen Stroke and the Queen Touch. Not gonna lie, they could have named that better. Queen Touch and Queen Stroke. What are they trying to do? A comedy? I know that it's hard to get these weapons, like really hard, but it's not that hard, I think. You tell me in the comment sections how many times you had grabbed this weapon. And here are their stats. You can see that the Queen's Stroke is a melee weapon, and the Queen's Touch is a laser homing projectiles. The energy consumption is gonna be 4 for the Queen's Touch, and for the Queen Stroke is gonna be 0. It seems the laser does electric damage, and the homing missiles does burn damage. And you can tell that by the critical size, the Queen's Touch is more critical. Both of them are slow, so you better keep your toes when it comes to shooting these weapons. A lot of bullets are gonna hit you. Now let's talk about our favorite staff, the Gold Staff and the Fine Magic Staff Gold. So you saw my video before this one's of the attachment series, you're gonna know that the Gold Staff can be attained with the spray paint. And you can upgrade it with the upgrade kit, making it the Fine Magic Staff Gold. I'm not gonna go that much in detail with the gold stuff because it's already in my zone. I explain every attachment series part 3. So if you like, just watch it. For every gold stuff, I'm just gonna recommend that video. This one feels like a steal. Willow Blade transforms into the 40 long blade. All I can say about this one, please don't use this upgrade for this one unless you really need that stretch of a long blade, just in case, but please don't use this one. It's a downgrade. You can say he scam you a little bit because look at the stats. You can see how bad it is. But I get it. Not everyone likes the little tune you need to play with this sword, the Willow Blade, so you can get those little upgrades of attack. So something consistency and 40 long can actually be a very good way to just, disfocus, so you can actually focus on other stuff in the battlefield. Now let's talk about the other weapons. Staff of Light and Goddess Staff. I'm gonna judge, but this staff does not have something going for it, At least the other staff have some things, but this one is half and half. Just look at the stats so you know what I'm talking about. That the damage and the energy consumption stays the same. The only thing that changes is that the upgrade gives it a little bit of bounce on the object of the bullet. So that means that every time it hits something like the walls or an enemy, it's just gonna bounce. That's the reason why I think that specific staff does not give much value. Now we're gonna talk about the saw-off shotgun and the super shotgun. And here are the stats. You can see that the old shotgun does 8 damage, the new shotgun does 12 damage. The secondary is just a grappling hood that just grabs your enemy, does a few more damage, and then you can shoot them down with the 12 damage. It does not work at bosses like intended, but it works on smaller enemies, and it's very good to give you like leeway after like world 2. Like in that world, like world 2 is like the most value you're gonna get from that shotgun before you get overwhelmed by all the enemies. And now for the last weapon. You see this image? It upgrades any weapon from them that has not been upgraded to its fullest potential. That means that any weapon that you have could be upgraded, except for one specific person that I'm just gonna put a little line on it, a big exit, something on it. You know what I'm gonna talk about. The Rift Heroes, the ones that you need special items to get. Thank you guys for seeing my videos and stuff. I will have part 2 of this one specifically. I don't know if I'm gonna call it part 2. Also, I know this is late for, reasons. So, have a nice Thanksgiving Day. I hope you all guys can have a nice dinner with your family members. And for those who, cannot join their family members, have some of those comfort foods that helps you a lot to remember, your town, your family members. Comfort foods can actually help you a lot. And what I mean by comfort foods is foods that you ate when you were with your family. It doesn't need to be a very fancy food. It could be just, regular chicken, and see, it's just chicken like your mom used to do. It helps. Thanksgiving, everybody.